Hey everybody, and welcome to this special on transiting Venus in Aquarius. So first I'm going to talk about the positive, negative, psychological meanings and the best use of the energy of transiting Venus in Aquarius. So Venus in Aquarius brings positive energy, it encourages us to be more open-minded and progressive in our thinking. It wants us to focus on friendship and group activities, and also working towards social activists, humanitarian projects and goals. Negatively, it can make us superficial because it can make us detached in relationships and avoid emotional intimacy, just focusing a bit too much on the practicals rather than the humanist behind things. It can also make us unpredictable in spending, as well as kind of getting into short-term flings that may not be healthy for us overall. Psychologically, this energy highlights the importance between intellectual connections and stimulating conversations, and connection and common ground, and how they're important for successful relationships, whether it's family or friend or intimate. It encourages us to be more self-expressive and embrace each other's unique qualities. The best use of this energy is to, help others, but also help yourself as well, to nurture your friendships, especially the lifelong friendship you should be creating with yourself, and just explore new ideas. It promotes us in being more innovative, encouraging us to take unconventional approaches and create more meaningful connections with people we actually have things in common with, embracing our own individuality and celebrating the diversity within ourselves and the world and people and the cultures, and just think about how you as an individual can contribute to the greater good of society. For some of you it'd be social activism, but some of you it can be taking responsibility for healing your own psychological, emotional and spiritual wounds. So this energy encourages us to think outside the box and experiment with new ways of expressing ourselves creatively and just living and being in the world, changing our daily routines, looking into new techniques of doing things. So now I'm just going to talk specifically about transiting Venus in Aquarius this year. So this year Venus transits in Aquarius from the 7th of March at 5:17 a.m. until the 31st of March. As Venus goes into Aquarius this year, it makes several aspects, and these aspects are said to influence the whole period. So the whole 24 days that Venus is in Aquarius this year. So the first aspect that Venus makes is a semi-sextile with Mercury. It wants us to find a connection between meeting other people's needs and meeting our own needs. It's the planet of intellectual communication, Mercury, and the planet of love, relationships, inner values, Venus, are coming together. So one is to be more honest in our romantic relationships especially, and also in our romantic needs. If we are single, what things do we need to do to make us feel nurtured? We can love and care for ourselves, have date nights with ourselves. How can you be open to love from someone else fully if you're not open to loving yourself fully? So this energy supports us in communicating our own needs in relationships or with ourselves, and getting to the root cause of how we can make our partners or ourselves happy as well, and just being more loving. So the next aspect, we've got Venus making a conjunction to Mars. So this makes us more passionate, we can have more desire, and it brings more intensity into our relationship. So although it can cause conflicts negatively because of our increased emotions, it can make us bring more adventure into our relationship, being more physically attracted and active in our relationships. But it can just help us be more open. We can argue and it's not good, of course, but sometimes talking our truth even in anger can bring us closer into our relationship as well. So this energy, although can cause conflict, can help us be more passionate and willing to resolve this conflict in our relationship as well as show our affection to ourselves and others. Venus also makes a square to Uranus as well, so it's a more challenging sort of energy because it brings sudden changes and disruptions and unpredictability into our relationships, and also adds to the conflict and the risk of arguments, as I said earlier, that can happen over the next 3 to 4 weeks. It can make us more unconventional in our behaviour. We can be more unstable within ourselves. We may just want to rebel and break free of our commitments right now as well. So this can shake the stability of our intimate relationships and other relationships as well, where there is commitment, and it can just make us a bit pushy and get in our own way, which can add to the tension in relationships. So we just have to watch out over this year's Venus in Aquarius. Are things just going a bit crazy? So that's the end of the short version of Venus transiting in Aquarius and what to do. If you want to know what it means on the astrological level, and also on the spiritual, political, esoteric, symbolic and creative levels, and also the emotional meanings and what it means for our career, personal and educational development, and the karma and all of that good stuff, then keep on listening. So, astrologically speaking, Venus in Aquarius infuses our life, our love lives especially, with a sense to be more unique and, be more individual. It encourages us to seek unconventional partnerships, or explore different ways of being in current relationships. It's kind of like a cosmic permission to embrace our quirks and express our affection in more innovative and authentic ways, and to meet the needs of our partners, because it may be our partners that call for a change in our relationship, or our friends and stuff. It wants us to seek out groups and people that really align with our true interests. On the practical level, Venus in Aquarius pushes us to think outside the box, especially when it comes to our finances and our possessions, how we view them, the way we go about getting them. It wants us to experiment with new ways of earning money and managing our resources. Also, time is a resource as well. So in what ways do you waste time? How can you be more effective in your time management as well? It asks us to question the tools we may need to live the life we want. We can be adverse to technology. There's a lot of fear over AI and how it's going to take over the world and destroy us all. And if we look back in history, there's many different things it kind of switches and changes. So not saying that these tools can't affect our way of living, but we need to think about how we can live more in the now, and how technology and things can make us more efficient in our day-to-day life. So a good energy to research technology, to bring technology into our love lives, especially in the bedroom, experimenting with sexual toys and sexual innovations. On the worldly, materialistic level, with consent of course, must add that in, but on the worldly, materialistic realm and level, it can bring changes into our societal values, kind of asking us to bring more acceptance and equality to the world, which is what is needed. We need to respect that we all have different ways of wanting to live our lives, and as long as we're doing no harm to others and ourselves, but especially to others, we need to find this middle ground where we can accept the diversity and different ways of being in the world. During this time, there can be advancements in technology that revolutionize the way we connect and relate to others, innovative social apps and dating apps and stuff like that, just different sort of tools that helps us get more in touch with ourselves, or other people as well. Politically, it can bring a sort of focus on progressive politics and policies that focus on equality and justice for all. It can inspire leaders to prioritise the needs of the collective over, individual agendas or agendas for the 1% and stuff like that. It kind of brings the energy of harmony cooperation among different cultures and nations, so it can help us with peace talks and negotiations in general. Spiritually and esoterically, it invites us to explore our unique individual connection to the divine, what that means to us, embracing our spiritual independence and seeking out new ways of connecting with our higher selves and higher rounds of consciousness in healthy ways. It pushes us to question traditional beliefs and expand our understanding of what it really means to have a spiritual practice over a lifetime. This energy invites us to embrace our individuality and think beyond conventional boundaries, especially when it comes to relationships and our inner values. Symbolically, it wants us to break away from other people's expectations and explore what it is you really want to do and be in order to feel fulfilled within yourself. You may find yourself drawn to unique and innovative ways of expressing yourself creatively. It's time ultimately to embrace your quirks and celebrate your authentic self. And on the creative level, the way we express ourselves artistically, creatively, can challenge what is traditionally thought of creative expression. So great for, designing clothing, art, music, and poetry, and anything else across the expressions of our creativity. Emotionally, it can call for us to detach and be more objective, so we can look at ourselves in a self-reflective way, in a more detached way, and we can find authentic and objective solutions to our problems. So great for, as I said, solving emotional problems, but can also create them, because we may be detached from feelings, and this can cause problems with us accepting the need for embracing our own feelings and exploring them. And we may try and run away into drugs, alcohol, and other distractions to avoid dealing with ourselves and others on an emotional level at this time. So we just need to watch out for that. Some of you may feel kind of more sort of asexual at this time, even if you're not asexual, just wanting to kind of connect with people on a deeper level, whether it be intellectually, spiritually, creatively. You can prefer a deeper sort of stimulation over intense emotional or physical attraction bonds right now. This energy wants us to explore the joy of platonic friendship, even in intimate relationships, because when we're friends with our lovers, we can create much more deeper relationships. It can often help, it should help with positive communication. Like the song goes, how can we be lovers if we can't be friends? It wants us to, on a deeper level, Venus in Aquarius, to examine our relationships with spirituality and divine and our authentic values, pushing us to question traditional religious and spiritual beliefs, and encouraging us to find our own unique path to enlightenment. We may just feel a stronger desire to connect with people, as I said, who just have more in common with us, and just to connect, with ourselves and others deeper, and to gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. So the karma associated with Venus in Aquarius revolves around independence. Do we use our independence too much and our freedom, or do we refuse from being who we are? Do we live up to other people's expectations? Do we people please? Why do we do that? Also, lessons with being authentic. Are you being you, or are you being who you think you need to be to gain acceptance? And why do you do this? Are questions you can ask yourself. It wants us to break free from societal norms and conforming and popularity contests, and just superficial connections, and embrace deeper connections with ourselves and others. And also, karmically, it may bring lifetimes where we went against traditional or the accepted notions of what love was and what relationship was, and lifetimes where we went against expectations, or lifetimes where we didn't, where we conformed, and we may have lost that and great opportunities of love and stuff like that. It can be a conscious thing where you remember a dream, or just experiences that happen right now to you may be trying to subconsciously get you to heal these sort of traits within yourself. So karmically, the lessons that we are being given now wants us to question the ways we express love and beauty, and to find harmony within ourselves while still honouring the needs of collective but not neglecting ourselves. So really bringing to our home that, you know, self-love and love of others doesn't mean neglecting the other. So if you are focused on self-love, it means that, you know, you should still also take into the needs of the collective, and if you're dedicating your life to looking after others, you should also care for your own needs, because this is how you can best give to others as well. So the importance of, you know, authentic self-love and care, and finding that balance between being who you are and, you know, meeting the needs of others as well. So karmically, this energy wants us to find harmony within ourselves while still honouring the needs of the collective, pushing us and encouraging us to release attachments to conforming to societal pressures and other people's needs, our lovers, our friends, our family, our colleagues at work, co-workers, bosses and stuff, and how we can embrace our true values and then seek out people that align with our true values. Ultimately, in terms of karmic lessons, it wants us to release any attachments to, you know, living up to other people's wishes, and develop a more unique relationships with those you have things in common with, and embrace your true self. Now I'm just going to talk about how family, friendship, co-worker and committed and hookup relationships are affected. So in terms of family bonds, this energy encourages us to be more open-minded and allow people to be individuals in our family dynamics and explore new ideas and have innovative discussions together. So it just allows, you know, for us to be detached. So if you share your home with your family or have any conflicts, this can help us, you know, be more detached in solving it out and meeting the needs of everybody involved. In terms of friendship, we can sort of like have more of a connection in our relationships. It wants us to come together and work with our friends to bring about positive change in our family, communities, in our workplace or whatever. It doesn't have to be a big thing, but it just supports us in, you know, just being more open-minded in our friendship circles and activities. In terms of co-worker relationships, it can help us work together more easily and bring more creativity into the workplace. It's a good energy to brainstorm, use innovative problem solving in teams, and it can increase our productivity as well. In terms of committed relationships, as I said, it can bring a need for independence and freedom, and this can cause turbulence in our connections, and this can lead to arguments and stuff. But if we, you know, maintain open and honest communication, we can grow within the relationship and sort of like try and meet everyone's needs within them. In terms of hookups, we can bring more excitement and freshness to our casual encounters. We can have more thrilling experiences and just have a more sense of openness, but we just have to watch out for being detached, because this can have problems with consent and stuff like that, and we can sort of like zone out and not, you know, just think we know what the other person wants. So just ask questions to avoid heartbreaks. As I said in the introduction, Venus in Aquarius can bring weird short-lived relationships into our life. So at this time, because you may feel lonely, you may sign up for a relationship that lacks the true intimacy and commitment that you need, and you may think this is okay, but in the long run it may hurt you. So just make sure that you only do what you really want to do in terms of hookups, and if you feel kind of lost, seek out help as well. In terms of career, it allows us to think outside the box and have breakthroughs in our careers and professional plans. Spiritually, it can bring a sense of connectedness to our sort of collective consciousness, and we can all just sort of like send out good vibes for each other and help each other in real life to achieve achieve our goals, looking beyond ourselves and considering the greater good in all that we do. But other transits are happening. No astrology transit happens on its own, so there's other influences at play. But ultimately, it encourages us to explore new spiritual practices, be more of service to ourselves and others, to help people in healthy ways, to expand our understanding of our personal, spiritual, or intellectual, or technological paths, whatever path we're on, and just feel a more deeper connection with the universe or whatever it is that we're working on or believe in. Personally, it invites us to embrace our uniqueness and our own individuality. It wants us to be more authentic and embrace our true selves without fear of judgment, and to build more self-forgiveness, understanding and awareness into our life, and just respect and love our differences, our Aquarius sort of wacky shadow nature, which may be the part of us that don't fit in, just to embrace our quirk, our talents, and to break free from societal expectations and go after your passions with more confidence on the spiritual and personal level. Educationally, it helps us just love and be geeky a bit more. It promotes us in seeking out new knowledge, being turned on by intellectual, scientific, technological exploration. We can be more curious and seek out unconventional areas of learning. So just niche, it's good for all sorts of niche business ventures as well, but educational research and stuff as well. It kind of pushes us to dig into subjects that challenge our existing beliefs and broaden our perspectives and knowledge, and to think more critically and independently. And it can also create a thirst for lifelong learning into our life. So now I'm just going to finish up by talking about the best things for creatives, professionals and entrepreneurs and alternative healers and lovers to do when Venus is in Aquarius. So for creatives, embrace experimentation, explore new artistic creative techniques, collaborate with people who share your vision, and challenge yourself to think outside the box. Sort of like attend exhibitions, research online, listen to new music, play a new instrument. Just experiment with techniques. Professionally, network with like-minded individuals, embrace unconventional ideas, look for ways to bring fresh perspectives into your workplace, and push boundaries in your projects and in your problem solving right now. Entrepreneurs, look at new business models and strategies, look at opportunities to disrupt, change tradition and the status quo, and offer unique solutions in your industry. Connect with other entrepreneurs who are also inspired by different approaches and create something that's truly innovative. Alternative healers, use this energy to experiment with your healing techniques, especially those that align with Aquarius energy, which is experimentation and unconventionality. Expand your knowledge, attend workshops, reach out to other healers as well, and just embrace more of a holistic way of being. For lovers, embrace the need for freedom and expressing your individuality in your relationships as well. Allow love to bloom in unconventional ways, break free from expectations in your relationships and stuff. And even, you may change your rules in your relationship right now. Try and just be open and listen objectively to everyone's involved needs, and try to meet everyone's involved needs, and try and look at yourself objectively as well. Engage in open and honest conversations, and just look towards non-traditional sort of like ways of being, and pursuing your individual passions as well as your couple passions, and just supporting each other's growth, and celebrate the uniqueness of your relationships right now, and commit to creating a love story that defies limitations. So that's the end of this special on transiting Venus in Aquarius. Take care and see you next time.